Got to tame the beard. Nam 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 nam. Hello friends, welcome back. It's Mike again. Welcome back to my channel. So I need a drink before I start. This video is a bit of a response video today. Simon on his channel, Savage Reads, I will link the video below. He is reading The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. And he is doing a talk with her today over in, I think it's in Waterstones in Liverpool. If it's not, I'm sorry, but I will link below the actual chat as well. And he's reading it or has just read it and really enjoyed it. And he wanted some recommendations for anything, any more other kind of young adult, fairy tale-esque, dare I say it, a little bit fantasy, that he could maybe dip his toes into, because it's maybe not a genre he reads hugely. Cue me, Mr. Reads It All the Time. So I commented on his video and I suggested a trilogy of books to him, which does tick all the boxes. It is YA, it is fantasy, it does go to a fantasy place, it is kind of, it crosses genres a bit, but there is a fairy tale-esque thing going on. And the trilogy I have recommended him, and I wanted to recommend this trilogy specifically because I don't think it gets enough attention from people, and people may not have heard of it. But people who have heard of it and have read it, I think we all feel the same. This is trilogy, it's called Dancing Jax, and it's by Robin Jarvis. Now, this is such a good series of books. It is only 3 books. I'm going to read the backs of each book for you because that's not too spoilery, is it? I don't want to ruin it for you. But basically, let's start. Dancing Jax by Robin Jarvis. It's a lovely hardback version. I don't know if you can see the picture. I really like it. It's kind of creepy, but it's that's the point. So this is what it says on the back of the book. Some books are harmful, even dangerous. They should be banned or destroyed. This is a story about one of them, written by one of the most evil men ever to have lived. In a coastal town, a strange out-of-print book is found, full of colourful stories of castles, knights and unicorns. But the book is no fairy tale. Written by Austerley Fellows, a mysterious turn-of-the-century occultist, it is no mere entertainment. In fact, those who start it find they just can't put it down, no matter how much they may want to. It's a page-turner, it keeps you awake at night, and it never ever lets you go. That's what this book is about. Whew! It's about, this book is told from lots of different perspectives and people in the town, and so basically what happens, without being too spoilery, this is kind of what happens in the first chapter. A guy called Jez and his little band of robbers breaks into this country house in the middle of England, and they discover a crate of these books, and they read them, and then they start getting sort of taken over by the book and by characters in the book, and they start to believe they are the characters in the book, and they take this book then to the masses, into like the comprehensive school, and the people there start reading it and start being taken over. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps, I love this book so much. Every person who reads it identifies with a playing card. So depending on what number the playing card, they tend to wear it in their pockets or on their chest. The number of the playing card is what kind of how high you are in the society in the book. And so it's catching my breath. It's really good, and this book is about how that book fares when it's unleashed on a small town in England. It's really, really good. It's a bit of a, it's different to other things you may have read because it's told from lots of different perspectives of people in this town, and the main one who I kind of really enjoyed following was Martin Baxter, and he's a teacher at the comprehensive school where he notices these things happening, and he reads the book and nothing happens to him, so he can't understand what's going on with everybody else. So that he's a real sci-fi mental kind of Doctor Who, Star Trek, Babylon 5 fan. So it's really, really good. And basically through this book, well, the book in the book does some nasty things, and it's really interesting. And there's 3 books. It's a trilogy. The second book of the trilogy is called Freaks and Rejects. I'm going to try and show you the picture of this as well. Hopefully it's in focus. Freaks and Rejects, and this is part 2 of the trilogy. And this book is better, in my opinion, than the first book. And it's because it centers around a smaller group of characters this time. And I'll read the back to you. So, months ago, a strange old book surfaced in a British town, written by a dark occultist. It put those who read it under an irresistible spell, spiriting away their minds to a beautiful but sinister fairy tale realm. Now the book has been widely published, and Britain has fallen. Those who resisted have been killed. But there are some who can't help resisting, some on whom the book simply doesn't work. These are the aberrants. They are feared, persecuted, hunted down even by their own families, and this is their story. This takes it to an even darker place. The few that aren't affected by Dancing Jax get rounded up and taken to something akin to a concentration camp, and they are put through these tests to try and get them to turn, to see the light, for want of a better phrase. And it is dark. This one goes to a dark place. I adore this book so much. This one had me thinking about it for so long afterwards. I could not. Whatever I read after this, I kept on going back to this. In fact, I think I read a couple of books and then went back and reread Dancing Jax and Freaks and Rejects straight away because I couldn't get it out of my head. It really affected me. There is a character in this book who is... Oh, there are just so many good characters in this book that have stayed with me too. And Mr. Jarvis does enjoy... He, a bit like Game of Thrones and George R.R. Martin, he does enjoy a little character assassination. So we'll just put that out there. Really, really good though. Very, very dark. And about a different group of people in the same world. So it's just fascinating. So it's quite a big epic story that he's telling here. It's really, really good. And then on to the third part of the trilogy, which for reasons unknown and irritating by the publishers, which I think is HarperCollins, they didn't release a hardback. I don't know why that frustrates me so much. I think it's just on my shelf. If something is a trilogy and you've got the first 2 in hardback, why release the third one only in a paperback? But there we are. It is a paperback. This is Fighting Pax. Look at the cover on this bad boy. I mean, let's see if I can get it to focus. Is it focusing? I don't know if it's focusing. Can you tell? That's better. Okay, Fighting Pax. This is the final part of the trilogy, and this is epic. Throughout the world, the Isthmus and his court are celebrated and adored, almost everyone now being under the thrall of the strange old book Dancing Jax. But when someone reads the sequel that the sequel that the Isthmus is working on, the true evil purpose of Austerley Fellows is finally revealed. Can the resistance halt the publication of Fighting Pax, or will humanity fall as the Dawn Prince rises at last? The concluding volume in Robin Jarvis's epic and terrifying trilogy. This is so good. This is big. It goes global, and you're in different countries, and you've got Martin and the people who survived Freaks and Rejects fighting for their lives, and they are a small band of resistance, small band of rebels fighting against the Isthmus. And yeah, what I loved about all 3 of these books, which is a little bit different, is that there is a book within this book. So you do get stories and chapters set in the fictitious book within this book. Does that make sense? So the novel that is taking over people in the book. The novel that is taking over people in this story you get to read some of that too. So I'm going to have to be quick now because my battery's flashing on my camera. But it's very, very interesting, and those bits are the bits that are very kind of fairy tale. And I think Simon, you would really like these. They're a bit different, and if you haven't read any of Robin Jarvis before, then these are a great, great start, introduction to him as an author. They're three of my favorite books, and yes, if you guys haven't read them, please go out and try. If you have read them, comment below. What did you think of them? Did you enjoy them as much as I did? I hope so. I hope so, because Robin Jarvis has written a lot of really, really good books, but these are probably my favourite of late. Oh my god, I'm boiling. I don't know why I get so warm doing these videos. But as my battery is flashing, I will save you all the removal of a layer of clothing and show you the trilogy that I love. Dancing Jax Trilogy by Robin Jarvis. Simon, this is what I recommend for you to read. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I will speak to you again soon. Bye. Having a problem with words today, but the lighting is quite good in here, isn't it? Whoop, whoop.